A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. And in this channeling session, which is the part 2 of Divine Masculine and Feminine, figuring out the true essence of love between them. So welcome back for those of you who are coming back for the part 2. And now let's get started. Now, the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine had one big problem, and the problem was of control. So, Divine Masculine was trying to control himself in such a way that he was running away from the Divine Feminine, and he thought that running away from the Divine Feminine is the solution of his problems, because he was feeling restless or confused and not loved, but he could not put a finger on that feeling, like why is he feeling this way. So he assumed that the problem is the Divine Feminine, and if I stay away from this problem, everything will get solved. So that is how he was trying to control the situation, but obviously he was wrong. On the Divine Feminine's part, she was also trying to control her feeling by trying to get back to the masculine again and again, trying to convince him, trying to make him see the reality, the truth. She was also trying to control by taking situations in her own hands, like I can fix it, I can do it, I am the one who will bring him back, I can show him what love can do, the magic of love, what it can do, things like that. So now what is happening is that both of them have started coming to a point where both of them are figuring out that they are not the ones who are in control. The control actually lies in love itself, that love is the biggest superpower on this planet, and love is the only medicine that can heal all the sickness of this planet. And I can, like so many people, I can also share many quotes on love. A lot of people share quotes on love on Facebook and social media, on their WhatsApp statuses, as if they know a lot of about love, and they have done a PhD on love, they have a degree on love. I don't claim to have a PhD on love myself, but I can surely say by experience that love is not present in the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine as long as they are running and chasing, because both these actions or both these behavior patterns mean that they don't have full faith on love. If they had full faith on their love, then they would not do a single thing. They would not even lift a finger. There would be no need of running. There would be no need of chasing. In this channeling too, I am just the medium. I'm just the channeler who has observed certain energies, and who has, in my own periphery, in my own vision of observation, I can see that the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine collective, the energies, are basically reaching that point where they both understand that there is something more to this. There is something more to this person, because the person is carrying that energy. So the Divine Masculine is seeing the Divine Feminine as the object of his observation, and he feels that why am I so drawn to her? I am running away from her. I'm trying my level best to run away from her. I threw myself into the hands of so many situations, places, people, but I'm not getting the relief from anywhere. There is a reason why a lot of people think that the Divine Masculine is the unawakened soul or the matrix soul, because despite recognizing a special connection to the Divine Feminine, for the Divine Feminine, he decides to numb the feelings he has for her. He decides to not pretend to have that type of feeling or that type of love towards her. And it's basically the fear of getting heartbroken. Now, some of the Divine Feminines who are not doing inner work, they are going through a lot of anger. They get very ununderstanding or non-understanding about this emotion, that how can fear be the reason of him running away? How can fear of heartbreak? Of course, you have to be in that situation to feel like them. You cannot feel like them, so you cannot judge them for what they are going through. but definitely they are not in the completely awakened stage, because if they are completely awakened, they will not run away from their own feelings for the divine feminine. They are not going to be like, oh, I'm scared, because fear is what basically stops them, and fear is a very low frequency, low vibrational energy. Fear is what causes illusions and delusions, and their biggest illusion or delusion is that she will hurt me, she will not be with me, or she will dump me, or she will go away, or I will be all alone without her. Because now that I have fallen in love with someone, I have found true love, then if that goes away from me, how am I going to survive? He does not understand that he has found true love, and if he has found it, then no matter what, it will stay. That type of trust he doesn't have, he didn't have. Or as I'm doing this channeling, in this particular channeling, he is basically awakening to this fact that this fear has been holding him away from her, or this fear of getting a heartbreak. He has made it very big, and it's not like getting a heartbreak doesn't feel bad. It does feel bad. Who doesn't know this feeling? I think everyone has somewhere or the other gone through this feeling. But because of the way we are programmed, in our childhood, we react to heartbreaks in a certain way. Now, all the happy couples that I see, they also fight a lot, and scientifically it's proven that couples who fight a lot, they are the ones who love each other. But they don't react to their fights the way a twin flame couple who's on an ascension journey would react. In fact, even in twin flames, they have fought with other people. They have been in long-term, short-term flings, this and that. But the way they take their breakup, or the way they take their separation, or the way they take their fights with their divine masculine or divine feminine counterparts is insane. It's intense. One fight and both of them go crazy, go crazy. At first, the divine feminines charge with all their weapons at them, but only when they start running away, then they start, chasing them, and then they start pacifying them. Before that, they don't. So, one has to understand that the runners have a comfort zone. They have their own comfort zone, and it is all very materialistic. Now, it's not just money which is material. Everything can be material. Say a thing like gaming can be material. Say a thing like sex addiction can be material, because it's connected to body. Eating a lot of food is material. Shopping a lot is material. Going for trips to abroad, going for vacations is materialistic things. Buying a lot of cars and going for trips, like doing a lot of masculine activities where they feel that comfort, that protection, that I'm a man and I can take care of this. I don't feel emotions. I don't need to feel this way. I don't need to feel that way. They are all the things that they try to do, and they keep doing it. They keep doing it till the point they don't get tired and frustrated of it, because after the tiredness and frustration only, they come to this conclusion that whatever I am doing, this is running away from something else which is more true, which is more tangible than even the materialistic objects that I have around me, because he stops finding pleasure in those things. There is no charm in those things anymore, because he does it to death. It's like done to death. And then finally they get ready to go up to another level, and that's how they progress in the journey. That's how they progress. So earlier, if they would get a thought about the divine feminine, they would fight with that thought. They would get angry, or they would just their best approach would be to escape it somehow. They will either find an activity, or they will either find a person, because they are like, okay, if I'm going to avoid this, this is the way I'm going to avoid this thought. So slowly and gradually, they learn to become friends with her thoughts. It all happens in 5D, and that's why I say 5D is more important than 3D. A lot of people give so much importance to 3D that they don't even do the inner work. So a lot of people don't give importance to the 5D or the 6D or the upper dimensions. They give a lot of importance to the materialistic things around them. So that's why they don't reach to the point of peace, and they are scared to be alone. If they can't be alone, and this applies to both divine feminine and divine masculine, because divine feminine is not being alone by doing all the other things like constantly thinking about him, constantly posting about him. Even if she's not thinking about him directly, even if she's not posting about him directly, she's, indirectly saying things that she feels he would see it or he would react on it. So she is not being completely her own self. She is acting in such a way, she acts in such a way that it is got some or the other connection with him. So she has to become fully detached from him. She has to overthrow all of those, things that make her this chaser, basically. Chaser. Even in the energies, you should not be a chaser. Even in your mind, you should not be a chaser. So, I'm just talking about these things because this is the energy of this channeling. The masculine needs to embrace. So when he starts embracing the love he has for her, the thoughts he has about her, all the beautiful thoughts he has for her, if he doesn't try to replace it with all the negative energies like, oh no, she can't be loving towards me, look at what she did that time, look at what she said to me, she's such a mean person, she doesn't care about me, and she's so weird, all the while when I was, trying to tell her how much I love her, she was just fighting with me all the time, and now when I don't want to see her face, she's coming and pacifying me. So he does not understand that this game, he sees it as a game, the fights and the pacifying. Only when he understands that, only when he sees, only when he's alone, he will start seeing how other happy couples are. He will start seeing how much the other couples fight too. Or he will start becoming open to the fact that love is not just about singing songs and jumping like a insane person all the time. Love is also about the times where you extend support. Love is also in the times when you understand each other. Love is also in sometimes letting go of the situation and just being like relaxed about everything. It's like, yeah, okay, somebody said something to me or she said something mean to me, she was in a bad mood, she was PMSing, why was she PMSing, why was she doing this? It should be more like, okay, well, she did, she said it, I don't care, I have to do my own thing, and that is, if I love her despite all of that. So this dynamic is played out by the divine masculines because they have not been programmed to understand love as how it should be understood. Now, on the other hand, the chasers or the divine feminines, they are constantly running after him or chasing him is because they don't understand as a spiritual seeker. Because let's understand, all of them are spiritual seekers. They were always spiritual seekers even before they met him. And they had accepted it, but only when they met him, they started hiding that spiritual side of them, or they started downplaying it. They also got scared of the destructive process that it is, the Kundalini, the dark mother. When the Kundalini rises, it will destruct everything that comes on its way. It's painful, but they are scared of that pain. They are scared of that separation. The divine feminines should understand that there is no replacement for love. If the divine masculine loves her, even if he goes on to 10 different people, he will still continue to love her, and they have to detach themselves from the materialistic world. They are too attached to the materialistic validations, especially. That's why in my channelings also I see these comments like, okay, if he really loves me so much, then why can't he pick up the phone and why can't he call me? Some ladies even wrote their number down under my channeling as if I am the divine masculine and I'm going to call them up and say, hey honey, I love you too. I don't understand why they are sharing their number to me or why they're giving me their email addresses, and I am not the divine masculine. Some of them start thinking that just because I'm channeling these things and I am the divine masculine. So let's not get into that extreme thought. The channelers or the healers or the therapists or the writers or all the people who are working, the light workers, they are simply doing their job because they have actually reached this conclusion by their own experience. So they become the vessel. They are just simply the mediums, okay? And anyone can become the medium if they surrender fully. It's as simple as that. And surrendering is also a process. It's a process that you need to really look up to it. People want to get into the radiance and they want to get into the harmonization, they want to get into the union, because when they meet someone who's radiating, or they meet someone who's harmonizing, or they meet someone who's in union according to their own understanding, they go very awestruck by them. They go like, wow, I want to be this person. Or somebody who's like completely driven by their mission, they go like, wow man, because it is inspiring. Even I used to find it very inspiring when I would see someone who's completely driven by their mission and they don't get attracted towards anything, or I should rather use the word distracted. But then you have to understand the process. It doesn't happen from there. It happens right from the scratch. It happens in the lower dark areas where the shadow work needs to be done. So the divine feminines get scared by that separation. They get so fearful that they want to avoid that separation, which is unavoidable. Why it is unavoidable? Because they have been trying to avoid it. They have been trying to avoid being alone. They have been trying to avoid being in solitude. They've been too attached with the narcissistic templates, the family members around. They are also looking for comfort. So don't think that only the divine masculine is in comfort zone. You are also equally in the comfort zone if you are listening, if you are a divine feminine. And if you are a divine masculine listening, then you have to understand that the version that you see of yourself, the weak version, that is a false version of who you are. That is not the true version. That is not the real version. In this channeling session, let me tell you that you can get awakened any moment. You can get awakened right now by listening to all of the things I'm saying. And once that starts, once that process clicks, there is no looking back, my lovies. There is no looking back. So why am I doing this particular channeling in this particular way? Because I want to give you the lines too. The lines are where the divine masculine is saying that I don't want to believe in the stories. I don't want to believe in the mills and booms, or I don't want to believe in the movies, the big budget movies, the big Hollywood movies that I've been watching for so many years. I am also not going to listen to all the negative situations, all the negative feedback that I get about love or about marriage or about, engagement or whatever, he has been going through. Because he has been very focused all his life. He has been very focused on people who got a heartbreak, or the adults who were single, or the adults who were divorced, or the adults who were, constantly complaining, or he was looking at his own family members or the adults around him and thinking that, these people are too damn dramatic and I don't want to be like them. And when he saw his own fights, or when he saw his own situations, he started, copy pasting all of it together, and he started making his own meanings or conclusions out of it. But now he's not in that phase anymore. Now neither is he in that phase, neither is she in that phase. So both of them have understood love like the way it is, or they are understanding it layer by layer. How, petal by petal. In a rose you have so many petals, so one petal, two petal, removing petal by petal, and you see in between, in the core, there is the seed. That is the seed of life. That is the seed of, a never ending process of life. So all of the times that they are saying that we spent not sleeping, all of the time we spent being sad, being miserable, either running or chasing or whatever we were doing, all of that has taught me love. All of that has shown me where to find love. And that is what true love is, and that is where true love is. So on this note, I'm going to end this channeling. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.